Frank, I put Wayne on the spot. I'm going to do the same to you. Have you ever seen a game called as one-sided as tonight's was?
Well, I mean, for one thing, when you go out and you run people from behind, and you slash them like you're chopping wood, I mean, what do you expect? They have to protect the players, and like, did you see a lot of penalties on us that should have been called? Did you see them look away? Did I'm asking you? Did you see? You did. What were you? Which one? Give me one specifically.
I've got a photo of one of your players punching an RIT Tiger in the head on a check along the boards in the second period.
Well, what happened? Was it tit for tat? Because the officials.
It wasn't.
Was it? Or
No,
was it not?
it
Well,
wasn't.
you go get the film and break it down. You know what? RIT, in my opinion, they didn't play a very intelligent game, and you know what? There's a reason why they are in the standings where they're at, and we are in the standings where we're at. You know what I mean? There's a reason, you know, and we saw much of it out there tonight. And make sure that when you put it in there, when you quote me as saying there's a reason where they are in the standings, make sure you put in there, then there's a reason where we are in the standings as well.
I promise,
you know?
I will.
And you want my 2 cents on it? I'm not going to question the officiating. We had the short end of the calls on Friday. I mean, and I'm not gonna cry and whine about it. To be honest with you, they called the penalties. You know, they could have called some more on us. They could have called some more on them. But I mean, like, you go into a game, you know, you can't play college hockey that way, or they're gonna protect the players. You know, we've already got one player, you know, that's probably he's done for the year. He had to disenroll from school, and hopefully he'll be able to come back next year and go back to school. But the officials are going to. They're paid to protect the players, and you know what? Wayne is a great friend of mine, and Hilsey, and we have a great deal of respect. You know what? In my opinion, like, I don't know what he has to say about his team, but I can tell you, the team in blue out there, we got a lot of work to do, and like I said, there's, you know, to me that game. You know, more so than you know, you want to talk about the officiating and the one-sided calls and all that type of thing. I mean, like, it was just plain ugly game. Just a plain ugly game. I mean, I can't remember. Like, I mean, that didn't look like RIT and Air Force. That looked like a 9 against 10 or an 8 against 9. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It just, you know. So I mean, like, you can break it down any way you want. You know. You know, it was just a god awful game with two teams that both have a long way to go, and you know, I'm not talking down to anybody, them or us. It's just the facts. Look at the records. There's a reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a reason.
Why do you think your power play struggled so much tonight?
Our whole game struggled. I mean, we're not very assertive. You know, we don't have a shoot first mentality. I mean, we have to be more proactive. Like, we're fighting it right now. We're just struggling in a lot of different facets. You know, for us tonight, you know, the biggest thing is we found a way to win an ugly game. And I told the guys, the way things are going, we're not ready to be able to play a good enough game to win a good game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said we're gonna have to win an ugly game, and I'll tell you what, I figured we'd eventually win an ugly game, but I didn't think she'd be that ugly. I mean, that was that had to have been painful to watch. I mean, from people that know hockey, it was painful to watch. You got two teams that are used to kind of having their way in this league that are struggling big time right now and trying to find themselves. And I can't speak for Wayne and his group, but I can speak for ours. You know. We've got to get our culture back. We got to get our culture back.
In spite of the struggles, obviously a much needed win. What can you, or how can you build on this for next week? And
well, you know, the boys are going to get together tomorrow, and like like even on the bench, you can feel it. You know, like our backup goalie stood up, David Bosner, and he goes, in the word he used between periods, guys, we're lifeless. You know, it's lifeless, and it's just. And I'm hoarse right now. I'm trying to be a cheerleader. I'm trying to be positive, you know, because you can't just pile on. Things aren't going good. You can't be, you just push it farther into the ground. and but you know, we needed to find a way to win an ugly game. Like the positives, we needed to find a way to win one. Now we can exhale, and now we can for a little bit. We can exhale a little bit. The pressure of the losing streak is over. The guys can get together, find out if there's anything internally that needs to be repaired. Do you know what I mean? And then we have to move forward. You know, I believe in our group, and I believe we're going to get there. But you know, some things are going to have to change first, and you know, like I said, our culture just isn't. It just isn't right now. And in closing here with you guys, you know, you're all friends of mine, and I respect you as journalists and all that. You know, don't pick your words carefully. Don't put anything in there abrasively. You know, Wayne's a friend of mine, and that you know, you can state the facts. I mean, you know, it was a one-sided game, but in my opinion, you know what, if you can come to my defense just a little bit, like I'm a little gun shy, right? Like Georgie McCulkey almost got killed. You know, he's disenrolling from school, and I mean, like the hits and the chops. I mean, like, you know, maybe I'm oversensitive to that right now. You know, but like you could say our guy punched a guy or pushed a guy, whatever, but you didn't see anybody running anybody from behind, you know, and I didn't see any vicious slashes. I mean, is there things, I mean, you could call a penalty on every other shift if you wanted to, if you really wanted to get, if those officials really wanted to get ticky-tacky. And if I was in Wayne's shoes, I wouldn't be happy either, you know, I wouldn't be. You just don't get that many penalties called on you, and you're where you say, we deserved all those. You're not going to. But to be honest with you, you know, I wasn't real happy with the same two officials. I wasn't happy with the game that they called on Friday, and that resulted in 3 mercy-first goals. You know, but I mean, it's part of the game. You know what I told our guys going in the third period? I said, the third period is going to be the toughest period. You know why it's going to be the toughest period? Because those officials have no choice. They've got to call at least 2 penalties on us. They have to, you know, so I just said, be ready. We need to muster up some enthusiasm for just one period. I didn't think it'd be overtime. we got to muster up enough enthusiasm for one period. We got to find a way to win this and get out of here. And I'm just warning you right now, like, we're going to have to kill at least 2 penalties. I felt, you know, it was going to happen in the third, and I think we probably did. We only get one. We got the one, 3-4 minutes in, but. Yeah, is it unusual to have, you know, that much of a disparity in calls? I'm sure that Gene Pinda's gonna, you know, I'm sure they'll call and Gene will look over the film, and from Wayne's side, he ain't gonna be happy. From my side, you know what? We're coaches. We have rose-colored glasses. Those are our children. You know, somebody hits your child, you know,
you're not going to like it.
Yeah,
and you're not going to like it, you know. And the other guy is going to say he asked for it, you know, or you know what I mean? It's so. I mean, to get this, what does Wayne think? What does Frank think? You know, you're asking 2 guys with rose-colored glasses. You're probably better to go if there was a third-party observer here. You're probably
someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd.
Yeah, you're probably better off.
Who's neutral?
Yeah, probably better off going to talking to them. You know, right. I mean, yeah. Thanks.